The 75 Soft Challenge is a challenge about developing new habits and being consistent for 75 days. The requirements are working out for 45 minutes per day, indoor or out, with one active recovery day per week. Drink 3 liters of water per day. Eat any diet as long as it's healthy, only drinking alcohol on special occasions, and reading 10 pages of any book. Welcome to week 1. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. My name's Miranda, and I am on a journey to lose over 120 pounds, and this is the beginning of my 75 Soft Challenge. Now, I am at the beginning of week 1 of this challenge, and this is how this week is going to go. So I'm just starting today for week 1. It is New Year's Day. So we are starting this on January 1st. And right now we are currently in, let's call it the tail end of the holiday season. I am limited on what I can do as far as some of the things I would traditionally do. Right now, my stationary bike, for example, and my weights are unavailable. I have holiday season decorations all over the place where normally those would be, and it's a bit of a mess until this weekend when things can get cleaned up. So for the moment, this week, my cardio is going to consist of just the basic treadmill. Now, I'm not a big fan of the treadmill personally. I find that when I'm on the treadmill, I dial it in. I'm not all that intense on it. So I'm going to have to be aware of that when I do my cardio this week. We'll see at the end of the week how I did. Now, today is Wednesday, so it is the middle of the week, and it is a short week for me. I do work a full-time job. I have 3 kids, 2 dogs, a husband, and a full-time job. It is very busy. And now I'm doing YouTube as well and my own editing. So let me know in the comments below if there are some things that you would like me to show you that I may cut out. I'm also going to be providing tips and tricks on how to make this a success going forward. And I'm also going to try to provide information or tips and tricks from the community as well. So if you are following along in the comments or on the community tab, let me know how your journey is going, and I'll try to provide that information as well because I want us all to succeed on this journey. So let's get into week number 1. Hello, thanks for joining me on my 3rd day of 75 Soft Challenge. I'm just on lunch from work, so I just got my reading in, drank some water while I watched a quick YouTube video, and now I'm going to be making some lunch while I head back to work. I have some steak cooked in the fridge, and I think I'm just going to add some veggies or a salad with it. And then I'm going to get back to work, and I am currently sitting in my favorite spot in my living room. It's a nice L-shaped couch, and I'm sitting in the corner of it. And why, you might ask, is this my favorite part of the living room? Well, I have 2 Australian Shepherds. If you know anything about dogs, specifically Australian Shepherds, they are Velcro dogs. They love to be where their owners are, and one of them you can see just off screen here. The other one is over here. So this is my favorite corner of the room, so that when they need some attention, I've got one on either side and they don't fight. So I am currently giving some love to the puppers before I head back to work, because while I am at work, they don't get much love from me. They've got to wait until I'm done. So I'm going to give them some love, go make some food, and then I'm going to be back later on today. I've got a quick little thing I want to show about one of the things I am tracking. If you watch my shorts, I am tracking my 75 soft journey through an app. And you can add, speaking of, right? I am tracking my 75 soft journey through an app, and you can add tasks at the bottom of that. And one of them says, add a skill, or learn a skill, sorry. And in case you were wondering what that was, I'm going to, at the end of my workday, show you what that is. So stick around until the end of the day and I'll show you what that's all about. This challenge is not a weight loss challenge. It is all about creating healthy habits, healthy mindsets, being consistent with something throughout the challenge. And I'm going to share with you something that I'm going to do. Throughout this challenge, I have tasked myself with learning a new skill. And one of the skills that I'm learning, because I'm going to be learning several, is I have taken it upon myself to learn Japanese. And I will not be a master of Japanese in 75 days. I am learning this very slowly because I am taking on the Herculean task of not only learning to speak Japanese, but also learning to read it and write it all at the same time. And that is a challenge. It is very difficult to write Japanese and a little less difficult to read it, much easier to speak it. So I am, as you can see here, I've got a little notebook that I have been writing things down in as I've been keeping track of my progress of my writing. And because I am keeping track of the writings as I go through, it's a very slow process. I know any of you that are fluent in Japanese are probably going to laugh and look at this like it's elementary kid writing right now, but I'm trying. So, needless to say, I am learning as I go, and it will be a slow process that will take more than 75 days. So it is one of several skills that I will be doing during this 75-day challenge, which is why it just says learn a skill in my tasks for the day, because there are several that I'll be doing. And to make it a habit, a good thing to do is to anchor it to something that you're already doing. So because I work from home, I am lucky enough to do a remote job. As soon as I finish work, I boot up my own personal laptop, get out my pen and paper for my book where I keep track of my writing for my Japanese, and then I immediately start to work on that skill. That way, the end of the day signals it's time to continue to work just on that particular skill. And so that is what I have been doing, anchoring my new learning skill with the end of my workday so that I don't get bogged down with things like making dinner or schoolwork with my kids or other tasks that we do outside of work time. And also, my kids know that if I'm still up in my room doing work things, not to bother me. So this also gives me quiet time to focus on this without having to worry about mom duties. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm anchoring it to the end of my workday, getting my learning in, and then once I'm done, we can then put this away and go on with our evening. So if you're starting a new habit, that is what I would recommend that you do. Anchor it to something that you're already doing or a habit that you already have established. And that way you'll make it a much more likely process for you, one, to do it, and two, that it will be something that you'll continue doing. Hello, today is day 4 of 75 soft challenge. I normally don't do car videos, but today has been an early one. I just dropped off my children at their volunteer program. They volunteered here last year for their school volunteer hours. And now that they've gotten all their volunteer hours, they're volunteering here for fun. And I'm very proud of them for that. And the reason for that is they're volunteering at a program on a ski hill that provides assistance for, and I'm going to quote here because it's on their sign, I'll actually probably put it up, for challenged adults and children. So basically it helps for people who are in wheelchairs, or if they're autistic, they have ADHD, they're visually challenged, people with disabilities who want to learn how to ski. So that's what the program's all about. And my children are assisting with those instructors. In fact, my eldest is a level 1 instructor. My youngest is only 15 and he's unable to get his level 1 instructor yet till next year. So he will be level 1 certified next year, but my eldest is level 1 certified. And he will be getting his level 2 probably by the end of this year, if they allow him to be what's called track 3 certified. Otherwise, he'll have to wait until next year for a different discipline. And he's going to be discussing that with them today. So I'll find out tonight how that's going to go. I waited around to make sure that registration went fine. So I went up to the clubhouse, sat and did some reading, drank some of my water to get some of my water in. It was a very early start today. And now that everything went well and they're all settled in, I am about to go home. So I am very proud of them for how they're doing their volunteering, and it's starting to get really busy out here. So we're going to go and give this spot to someone else who actually wants to ski for the day. So I will see you later in the day. Hear them honking away. I just couldn't find them. Looks like I found them. Oh, there's so many. There is a beautiful park about 2 minutes from the ski hill that I decided to stop at. It's got a river that runs beside it, nice trails, etc. So I decided to stop. It had recently snowed last night, so I decided I was going to go walk it, and it just goes to show that Canadians are built different. I saw so many people running the trail today at -7. You have no idea. Oh my goodness, there were so many people. I was trying to not get anybody in my video. There are probably going to be a few people far off into the distance that are running in -7 right now in my videos, because it's just unbelievable how many people are out here right now running on the trails. It is kind of ridiculous. Not to mention all the people walking or walking their dogs. I mean, this park is incredible. I love this park. I'm nowhere near actually living near it, so I don't come here very often. I have to actually trek out here to get here. But it is incredible how many people are actually out here in -7. Just running and walking their dogs and being out here in the weather because it is starting to snow and it does have a bit of a nip to the wind, enjoying this park. I wanted to go down to the river because I could hear the ducks and the geese. So I got some video of those, but I wasn't planning on actually walking, and they inspired me to do an outdoor walk today in -7 because they're out here enjoying this park in -7. So that's what I did. I ended up doing my 45-minute walk already today at this amazing park, and I am invigorated to say the least. So welcome to day 5 of my 75 soft challenge. So today I got in my active recovery for the week, and it was just some gentle stretching, yoga poses, that sort of thing. I did try to record some of it, and I'll put some of the footage up now. But as you can see, with 2 very active Australian shepherds, it wasn't going well with them being around. So I had to stop filming and deal with them so that I could get it done without them being in the way. They are very friendly dogs. They just play rough, and when you're on the floor, they think that you are part of the pack and they want to play with you. So that is what you're seeing in the video, and they're just trying to get involved, or trying to get me involved in their play, and it's far too cute, but it was very distracting. So I had to turn the videos off, deal with them, and then get back to it after I dealt with them. And today has been it's a Sunday, so it's pretty laid back. There's no work today, and the kids are home, so it's just getting things handled as far as the weekend goes. The Christmas decorations and holiday decorations are coming down today, so we're just trying to finalize the season and deal with all of that. It's actually about 2 p.m. right now. I haven't even eaten yet today, so it's probably going to be a 2-meal day again today. I find that on average this week, I've been averaging about 2 meals per day, or 2 meals and 1 snack. I haven't actually been eating 3 full meals this week, which is fine by me. I haven't been doing a lot of terribly hard exercising. I haven't had my weight training in this week yet. Next week, when I start doing my regular weight training on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I probably will require more calories, and therefore I may need to add an extra meal in there, but I'm going to play it by ear, and I'm going to base it on my body. As I lose weight, theoretically, I've got lots of fat stores that my energy could be used from. So if I'm recomping and my body doesn't need external food sources, then I'm perfectly fine with that. And we're going to play it by ear based on what my body needs, and that's going to be different from everyone, and that's fine. So far, I've been pretty happy with the way things have been going as far as my habits are. I've added in my learning a new skill that's been anchored for the end of my workday. And I have added in some prepping for the weekend, which we completed yesterday, for the rest of the week. So we've got some healthy ingredients that are available throughout the week, as well as a meal plan with some things that could be decided on for the day. So we've got, say, beef, ground beef, for example, that we're thawing, and that could be used for these types of meals. Therefore, if I'm the one that's going to be cooking, I could make these things. But if my kids are cooking, then maybe it's tacos. So we have basically like a 2-pronged system based on whether mom is cooking or whether my teenagers are cooking, and my teenagers are elder teenagers. My eldest is about to turn 18, whereas my youngest is 12. So we've got a wide range of cooking ability in there, but it's a skill that they need to learn. So we do lean on them to explore those skills. In fact, on Monday nights, it is my kids' job to do cooking at least once a week, and that is Mondays. However, the water's been a bit of a struggle. I've tried to get my water in as early in the day as possible. However, there were a day or two where the water intake was a little bit later in the day than I would have liked, and that causes some problems later in the evening. If you know, you know. So therefore, I suggest that you get your water intake, at least half of your water intake before lunchtime, and therefore finish off your water intake for the day at least 4 hours before bed, if not earlier, so that it can be out of your system before you go to bed at night. This way, you're not interrupted while you try to sleep. Now, what about the 45-minute workout per day? Well, I suggest that you track some sort of metric involving that workout. And here's the reason why. Right now, I'm just doing a treadmill workout for my cardio workout because my stationary bike is currently in the basement in my weight section of my basement, covered in holiday decorations, which hopefully will be cleared up by the end of today. However, if I wasn't tracking my metrics, I wouldn't realize that the entire last couple of days, even though I did 45 minutes on the treadmill, I've just been dialing that in. My heart rate has been in zone 1 the entire time. The only time my heart rate has gone up to zone 2 was yesterday. Now, did it go up to zone 2 yesterday? Well, the difference is my workout was outside yesterday, and it was outside in that beautiful park that you guys saw. And I was inspired by all of those walkers who are walking in -7 degrees Celsius weather and making the best of that wonderful park. And since I was so motivated, I actually showed up and did a wonderful walk yesterday. And clearly, even though I normally dialed in my treadmill workouts, I was walking much better and faster, and probably the -7 weather helped. I was certainly motivated to push myself yesterday when I wasn't on my treadmill. The treadmill is boring for me. I find it incredibly boring, even if I've got a TV program going, a podcast, some music. I personally do not find the treadmill very entertaining. I would much rather do my stationary bike outside, do something other than the treadmill. I'm not a very treadmill orientated cardio person. And this is why it is important to track your metrics when it comes to your workouts. Because if I hadn't been tracking, sure, I did 45 minutes of, exercise, but clearly I was not pushing myself. And I do not want to get to day 75 and realize that I could have pushed myself a lot harder during my workouts. And this is something that you may want to look at as well if you're considering to do this challenge as well. Now, I want to hear in the comments below if you're already on a 75 soft challenge or if you're going to be joining now. And if you're already on the challenge, I want to hear what habits have been working for you and what might you be tweaking after this first week to make it just a little bit easier. Or if something has been working, what kind of tips or tricks you can offer for anybody else following this journey too. Now, I've got you every step of the way. I know that you can do it, and I'm going to be here for you for all 75 days. So come back here for watching my shorts or any of my community posts, and I'll be here in the comments as well. And until next time, stay amazing.